But now we can't see him. Yeah, perfect.
Okay, all right. Thanks everyone for joining us today. This is Nikunj, a co-founder at CutShort. I welcome everyone to the Accelerate online event, which is happening today on CutShort website. I also have two guests and friends here from UpGrad, who are the partners for this event. So what I'm going to do is, we are like late by a couple of minutes, so sorry for that. Let me start with some introduction about the event and how to use it, right? So first of all, I'm assuming that most of you are on the CutShort website, where you can see the event application. So you can see on the right hand side, you must be viewing this live stream on in that page on in the right section. If you have any questions about the event, we have prepared an FAQ, so you can just go and click on the top a link to go through about more information about the event. And if you have any questions about how the event works, what is the format, what are the deadlines and timelines, you can just go there. We have a chat with attendees, so that's a broadcast window. Whatever you type here will be visible to everyone in the room. So you can introduce yourself. Is that full screen? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just, now it should be. It is now full screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So thanks, Anubhav. He just pointed out that my screen was not visible entirely, so sorry for that. As I said, this was on the right. You also should see a chat window. So use this space judiciously to ask your questions to UpGrad team. Mayank and Rohit, who are here today in this live session, will answer a few of them here, and then rest of the questions can be answered by them after the webcast is over, or by other team members of UpGrad. So use this space to ask questions to the UpGrad team. You can also introduce yourself. So please go ahead and chime in with where you are coming from and what you intend to do. Just one thing: don't use this window to exchange contact information or ask people to apply and all of that stuff. For that we have created, we have done a lot of hard work in giving you a much more structured way of applying for jobs, and giving recruiters great tools to see all the relevant people and respond to you faster. So believe me, it will be much more productive if you reach out to people from the event application itself, rather than inviting applications or calling people on phone and stuff. So timeline, it's visible in the about the event tab as well, so just go there and check out timeline. If you have more questions, as I said, there's FAQ that you can go through. So now, first of all, it is very exciting for us to be doing this event for the first time. We have done a lot of events in the past, and all our events are themed on some specific interesting areas. Now this is a very interesting event, and we are so excited because this event is a part of one of the larger initiatives that we have, where at CutShort we believe that the future is going to be different of the professional world. The kind of skills that are in demand today, they're going to be complemented by new skills, and hence there is a big gap that is emerging in areas like data science, blockchain, digital marketing, data analytics, right? So all of these new skill areas, the biggest problem is that there is no traditional setup that recruiters or companies can use, and there is no setup for people who want to get into these streams to connect with companies, because traditional universities are too slow, they're too structured for making an impact in a very short span of time to bridge this demand supply gap. And we believe that hiring needs a big change, not only from the perspective of connecting recruiters with talent in a big way or in a new way, but it also requires a different hiring psychology. It requires different hiring tools, like what skills you look for, do you really understand data roles. And this event is a part of that big initiative. As you know, recently we did a webinar on data roles and where we had 3 speakers from the industry who talked about what different career roles are there in data, and we looked into how to hire for these skills, how to understand the key competency areas, and then structure the entire process unique for your company. So we looked at that, and then in the same thread of events, I think today we are doing a specific event where we are connecting you with a new talent pool, which is educated by UpGrad, which is a leader in e-learning space, and IIIT Bangalore, who is the partner of this entire curriculum that they have created. So we have Mayank and Rohit from their team who will talk more about what makes them unique, what makes the entire program so attractive for the industry. So I'll let them speak on that. And we are doing this event in partnership with UpGrad. And in webcast today, as I said, we have Mayank Kumar, who is a co-founder at UpGrad, and we have Rohit Sharma, who is a program coordinator at Data Science program for the UpGrad course. Important dates and timelines. So today, 23rd August, 3 p.m., the event is going live with the opening address. All the companies will come in, and most of them have already added their jobs. If you have not added your roles, you still have the opportunity to do so. Today, 23rd August, 8 p.m. is when all the jobs will become visible to the learners. So as of now, learners can only watch the stream and they can interact with people on the chat, but the jobs are not visible to them. 8 p.m., all the jobs that have come so far would be visible to the learners for applications. 28th August, 8 p.m. is when the companies will start responding to most of the learners who are applying, and they will close applications. Learners need to make sure that they are applying to all the possible jobs that interest them by 26th August, 11 p.m. So that's Sunday, 11 p.m. And companies are going to return on after the weekend, and they're going to be clearing all the applications by 8 p.m. on Tuesday. And Tuesday night, we will close the event. Most of you should be aware of CutShort, but if you're not, CutShort is a new AI recruitment-based platform, which delivers 3 main key benefits to you as a recruiter. First is we give you access to a very premium talent pool, and by that I don't just mean typically institutes and universities that you already know of or companies that you know of. Of course, you get that, but you also get to interact with new emerging talent pools like UpGrad in this event, for example. What we also do is getting you close to the event pool or the talent pool is only one part of the story, but then how do you find the most relevant ones in a very short span of time that you have? And that's where the matchmaking and relevance comes in. So we have created algorithms where for each of your job, for each of the competency area, and for each of your industry and personalized hiring context, for example, in terms of education or your industry background, we match people and we rank them automatically so that you focus on the more relevant one first, rather than having to go through a list of resumes where there is no context, right? And I think that's a big problem in recruiting right now. And third benefit and third way in which we help you is we automate the process of interacting with these candidates or high potential candidates with the interview setup, assessment test, asking them a few questions for qualification, and all of that is automated right here with the help of your AI assistant. So much like Siri, Google Assistant, and Alexa, you get Voila, which is an AI assistant on CutShort to help you with all these repetitive steps that you have to do all the time on all the candidates. So that is the idea about CutShort. If you have not started using CutShort, join 5,000 plus companies who are already using it to revolutionize their hiring, and this is a URL. We also host innovative events. So in addition to doing all the awesome stuff that I was talking about in the previous slide, we also host events like this, where we try to bring you close in touch with a very promising talent pool, which is segmented across some specific parameters. In this case, it's the new talent pool that you should look into if you're looking for hiring for data roles. In the past, we have done some different themes, like connecting with the people who were at Flipkart and they were laid off by Flipkart, or maybe in Kickstarters, we tried to connect you with entrepreneurs who were doing their startups, but who moved on, who shut down their startups and wanted to move to the industry. So all of those events keep happening here. Next event is happening in September. It's going to be Elevate, and it's going to help you hire for tech, business, product design roles, and more. With that, that's all I had from my side. Now I will let Mayank and Rohit from UpGrad team to take stage and maybe introduce themselves a bit, and then address to the recruiters specifically about what exactly makes UpGrad so attractive for from what are the courses, what is the course structure, and how they build together an entire thing to make this entire talent pool much more attractive to recruiters. So over to you, Mayank and Rohit.
Perfect. No, thank you, Nikunj. Thanks a lot for setting the context for this event this time around. Hi, I'm Mayank Kumar. I'm one of the co-founders and managing director at UpGrad, and that's Rohit Sharma, the program director for the entire data set of programs for which we are right now organizing this, and one of the founding team members has been there right from the start of our UpGrad journey. So just very quickly, what I wanted to do, we wanted to sort of cover it in two quick phases. First, I will give you some introduction to what we're doing at UpGrad, and then I'll let Rohit talk a bit more about this particular event and this particular drive that we are organizing with CutShort, and therefore what, from a recruiter perspective, you should expect, and from a learner and participant perspective, one should expect. So very quickly, guys, about UpGrad, we are 3 years old into our journey. Last 2 years are operational years. We started about 3 years back when Ronnie Screwvala, Fargo and Ravi and I came together to launch with UpGrad with a very clear goal of building careers of tomorrow, and that was a guiding principle for us. What we do at UpGrad is we bring university education online, and we partner with leading universities in India to offer postgraduate program and curriculum in the online space, specifically targeting working professionals who are looking at moving up in their career in those domains and trying to sort of build their careers in those new age areas. So building careers of tomorrow, university education online, put together, we have partnered with so far 5 universities and are offering close to 10 programs. Data science and data and AI machine learning is one of the largest vertical that we focus on, because that's one place where we see a significant amount of interest coming from folks, specifically from technology domain and IT ecosystem. We have so far trained close to about 300,000 learners between our free and paid program. We are also the official partner and education partner for Prime Minister's Startup India Learning Program, where we're training hundreds and thousands of learners, inspiring entrepreneurs who are looking at entrepreneurship as a journey. But as I said, in the careers of tomorrow domain, in the areas which we believe are upcoming, we have a very strong focus on data science, where we are partnering with IIIT Bangalore, BITS Pilani, and as well as Mica, where we are offering something related to analytics to our learners. The focus, and while we are building this up, our entire focus was to build a great learning experience, because learning in the online requires a different kind of discipline and a very different kind of experience the learner should go through. And that's what we focus a lot on, and build a great learning experience for our learner. Our NPS score, which we track very closely, is upwards of 50 to 60%. In an online domain for 11-month program, we have a 90% plus completion rate. Internally, we have a set of benchmark that for the folks who go through a career track, 75% plus of them should end up pushing into a role that they're looking at. So all of that focus has gone into creating great learning experience for a learner. And in the process of that, we also realize that a lot of learners focus, because these are premium talent pool, after going through the program, they're looking at career opportunities. And as part of career opportunities, we have done a lot of offline and online recruitment drive. This is the first time we are organizing perhaps one of the largest recruitment drive with CutShort, bringing in over 50 plus recruiting partners and hundreds and thousands of learners coming together and aspirants coming together. The focus is to get the right sort of matchmaking done, where people are looking at talent and there's a ready talent pool that can be plugged in, such that the entire journey of a lot of companies towards data and data science becomes far more meaningful. As we stand right now, we are also investing in new programs which are emerging and upcoming. So programs in the domain of business analytics, blockchain, or IoT or cloud. Those are domains that we'll be bringing in very soon, with a very clear focus of building what the future of technology ecosystem could look like. So far, we have had tremendous success in partnering with companies at an individual level. We have had companies like Microsoft, IBM, Fractal, Flipkart, Walmart, WNS, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, etc., coming and hiring our learners, and that has helped us build further relationship with the organization. And the more they have come to us, we have expanded our partnership with these learners, with these organizations as we go along. The objective of this particular event, and I'll let Rohit maybe a good place for us to transition, is because given our journey of focusing on the entire learning bit, we are now focusing a lot on building the career services part of UpGrad. And as part of that, we are conducting multiple initiatives, and this is part of that initiative where we are partnered with CutShort to bring for each one of you guys from a recruiter perspective a pool of ready talent that you can look at hiring and partnering with. And from a learner perspective, a potential pool of companies where they can go and sort of apply and hone the skills. So this journey with CutShort will continue as we go along also, and we hope that this event ends up becoming even larger as we go along. We have very strong expectations from this event, and we are quite excited, as Nikunj said earlier, of partnering with CutShort to come to bring this event to you. With this, I would like to wish each one of you the best, both recruiters as well as learners, to get the maximum out of this particular initiative. And I'll let Rohit talk a bit about the program that we are focusing on and what, from a recruiter perspective, you should expect, because I think learners know what they have gone through. Yeah. And from a recruiter perspective, what we should expect from the talent pool that we will have as part of this program.
Sure, thanks, Mike. I'll just maybe quickly give you a context, all the recruiters and partners essentially of what happened, and why did we think in the first weeks of launching this particular program, 2 years back. When we were looking at data science as a space, we ended up talking to close to 180 to 200, head of analytics, head of data science or machine learning, hiring managers, and so on and so forth. And what we realized was there is a significant gap when it comes to supply and demand of talent in these upcoming areas like data science and machine learning, wherein there are a lot of open positions, but there are not enough technology professionals who have the relevant skill sets. And we ended up asking and gathering information from all our hiring partners and recruiters as to what is it that they need in any sort of an upskilling program or any sort of learning program which can help learners pick up the relevant skill set. And the first thing that they said was, since data science and machine learning are technologically niche areas, they are decently specialized. Ultimately, individuals need to go through something which is fairly rigorous, and they need to go through something which is something like a university program itself, wherein there are multiple courses, there are strict hiring, evaluation parameters, industry relevant concepts are being taught, as well as academic rigor is being imparted. And keeping all of this in mind, essentially what we ended up doing 2 years back was launching an 11-month-long PG diploma program in data science in collaboration with IIIT Bangalore, which has a specialized, which has a very kind of, which is known for its expertise in data science and machine learning. And post the success of that, we ended up launching one more program, which is a PG diploma program in machine learning and artificial intelligence. And as part of this particular drive, the learners that you will be exposed to, the learners that you will have an option to consider are going to be a combination of these two programs. And hence, the entire, I have a couple of slides to kind of walk you through. We'll essentially be talking about, the type of reception that these programs have received, what type of learners are there, what type of training do they go through, and finally, historically, what type of companies have already partnered and hired with UpGrad, just in form of, demonstrating some social currency of sorts, right? So I'll just quickly walk you through, at an overall level, what the reception has been. So across these two programs, I think, Nikunj, just on the first slide itself, I'll walk everyone through. Yeah. So across these two programs over the past 2 years, we have seen 150,000 individuals requesting for, requesting to do more about the program itself. Out of them, around 30,000 individuals have applied. And since this is a fairly rigorous program, that also means that there is a rigorous selection criteria. So we conduct proctor tests. We rigorously go through each profile which is submitted to us. And out of every 10 students who applies, we end up, allowing only one student to be admitted into the platform or into our programs. And hence you would see that out of 30,000 applications, we have around 3,000 individuals who have actually ended up going through the program or are at various stages of completing the program. And as part of this particular drive, there are 500 individuals that we have identified who have performed well in the program, who have graduated successfully, or who have demonstrated, some real rigor, some real, hands-on performance, and so on and so forth during the duration of this entire government program. And hence, these are the 500 individuals that we want all of you to consider. And if we, at an aggregate level, if I talk about what type of learners are there who will be part of this particular drive, you would see it's a healthy mix of individuals from various industries. There are around 40% individuals who are at various technology positions, at various developed positions within the IT industry itself. You would find a lot of individuals, around 15 to 20% of individuals in niche analytics consulting companies in the first place. So these are the individuals who bring in some residential knowledge of analytics in the first place. Then you would see some individuals around 20-25% from finance, and then you have a long tail of learners from other industries like retail, healthcare, telecom, and so on and so forth. Right? It becomes very critical as a recruiter to be able to relate to these domains, because if you're talking about functions like machine learning or data sciences, the residential knowledge that learners bring in that domain becomes super critical for them to be productive from day one. And you would see that irrespective of the domain that you're interested in, you would find the relevant profiles in the learner base that we are, that will be considered as part of this particular drive. If I talk about work experience also, again, it's a very healthy mix of individuals who are just starting their career out in the industry, or some middle management individuals, or some extremely experienced professionals. So if you're trying to map your, data science team, you would see that individuals who are who would be data analysts, data engineers, data scientists, or junior data scientists, these are the individuals that you would get from the 0 to 4 years of experience bucket, because these individuals, these learners have already gone through the program. They are going to make some really, really good individual contributors for you and your organization. And they have all the relevant skill sets when it comes to either the relevant set of algorithms or the technological implementation that is required to be performed by a data analyst or a data scientist. Similarly, you will have, around 30-35% of professionals who are in that middle management group, senior data scientist or a data science lead or a machine learning lead. These are individuals who essentially end up leading a team of 3 to 5 data science individuals, data scientists, and they end up picking projects. So again, you will see that in this particular bucket, you would have a lot of individuals who have some existing project experience, who have been into, analytics related career for the last 2 to 3 years. And through this particular program, they have been able to further upskill and upgrade their data science specific skill sets. And finally, for those of you who are looking for, individuals who can take leadership position or a senior management position in data science, you would see we have, some outstanding technology professionals from, our product companies or services companies, either in the IT segment or outside that also. Again, who have been into the industry for a good number of years, definitely more than 10 years. And these are the individuals who have, again, through this particular program, gone through various case studies, looked at various implementation scenarios of data science and machine learning, and would be suitable when it comes to filling up that senior management position, right? So all in all, I think the takeaway from this particular slide or this particular presentation would be that the program that we have designed is fairly rigorous, and it is selective, and hence not everyone goes through the program. Out of those also, only a select few have been allowed to be part of this particular drive, so that you are recruiting partners end up getting the best of the best. And when you're looking at the class profile also, you would see an eclectic mix of professionals from different backgrounds and different years of experience, which can map at different levels within your organization, right? Nikunj, we can shift to the next one. Perfect. Now, what do they go through in this 11 months, right? So the program essentially includes around 400 plus hours of academic learning, which is discharged by our industry partners as well as our academicians from IIIT Bangalore. And in addition to that, there are 100 plus hours of hands-on learning that these individuals go through 14 plus industry projects that we have developed in collaboration with the likes of Uber, Fractal Analytics, Gramener, Cognizant, Facebook, Google, and so on and so forth. So all of these companies are essentially contributing towards developing not only the course curriculum, not only delivering the lectures, but also integrating in the program some real case studies from their own companies, their own enterprises, so that learners not only are going through something which is academically rigorous, but are simultaneously going through something which is industrially relevant also. And that becomes important for a learner to become productive from day one in your organization. Some might have the theoretical outlook, some might be able to understand how an algorithm functions, but through this particular program and through this type of an ecosystem, wherein there is a lot of industry participation, learners also end up honing their implementation skills. Learners end up becoming quick problem solvers. Now, if I specifically talk about, what are the topics that these guys are going through, you would see that, in our data science program, which is one of the programs in the data vertical, so to say, learners are going through various topics within advanced statistics, within machine learning, within big data analytics, with advanced machine learning also. Across all of these topics, they are going through not only the theoretical understanding, not only the industry-specific case studies, but also the implementation, the technological implementation through languages like R, Python, MySQL, Tableau, which again become important for the hirees, potential hirees to know, for them to be productive from day one. This is just about the data science program. There are a lot of advanced, topics which are covered in the machine learning and AI program also. Some niche cutting edge topics like neural networks and deep learning, natural language processing, image processing, graphical models. These are areas wherein a lot of excitement and buzz is there. A lot of companies are trying their hands on these particular topics, and hence it becomes extremely important for learners to know and keep themselves updated in these areas. And hence you will find that there are students who have expertise in different areas: data sciences, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, across these case studies and across these tools also. Yeah, and who essentially is teaching, who essentially is designing these curriculums? You would see, again, as I was mentioning, there are a lot of academicians who are there from IIIT Bangalore who have been researching in this particular area for a good portion of the past 10-15 years, who are essentially responsible for making sure that the academic framework in the program is really rigorous, is really cutting edge. But in addition to that, you would also see a lot of individuals from the likes of Uber, Gramener, Viacom, Tata IQ, Pintybaus, wherein all of these industry professionals are coming in, teaching various topics, discussing various case studies, and are also mentoring students on a day in and day out basis to help them understand how to apply a concept in a certain industry environment or in a certain framework, and so on and so forth. So towards the end of, again, this particular 11-month experience, the expectation is that learners will be extremely good on the academic or theoretical front, and will be simultaneously as good on the application front, on the industry application front also. And because of that, we have seen that over the past 2 years, we have had a lot of interest from enterprises and industries to hire from the graduating base. And the next slide is essentially just a quick summary of the various companies with whom we have been able to partner, or the various companies which have actually considered our pool of students for various positions within their data science team till now. And you would see this not only product companies or technology companies, it is media, retail and entertainment, digital marketing companies, services companies, and so on and so forth. Across the board, individual companies have been able to kind of identify, the positions wherein learners from our program can potentially contribute some value, right? So broadly, I think this is the summary of what I wanted to talk about. The program is fairly selective. They go through something which is not only industrially relevant, but academically rigorous also. In fact, they get a PG diploma and simultaneously they get a GPA and an academic transcript, just like, your offline colleges, which vouches for the amount of rigor that these individuals have gone through. And as, of course, a result of that, we have seen that across the board companies in different segments have been able to identify the right set of talent through in the graduating batch itself, right? So yeah, I think that's it from my side. Nikunj, back to you.
Yes, so thanks, Matt and Rohit. So maybe we can take a couple of questions. I think they are disconnected. So why they are going to come back in a while? Let's wait for them. Let me just give you an idea about how it works. So this is my dashboard as an employer. And you can see that as an employer, if you want to participate, all the jobs that you have added on CutShort are visible to you.
Nikunj, I think you should switch off your video because again it's coming in a smaller section for everyone to see. Yeah.
You were there. I had lost you.
Yeah, I'm here.
So one question which is there from the audience is there are so many these online or e-learning or course providers, like there's so many other names in the market. So as a recruiter, as a company, what is the differentiating factor between UpGrad and others?
Sure. I think a perfect summary that mine presented was thinking about this as an online college. See, data science is something which is, or machine learning is something which is technologically sophisticated, and hence, if one has to learn or pick up those skill sets so that enterprises find value in that, one has to go through something which is fairly rigorous. There has to be a certain framework. And with our partners like IIIT Bangalore, we get such a framework wherein there is a very expanded assessment which is done either through assignments or case studies or various types of projects that these individuals end up doing. And through the drive, recruiters would see when they're exposed to the various types of projects that they have done, the lines of course that they have written, that in fact they have gone through something rigorous. And here you have one of the best universities in India, deemed universities in India, which is vouching that, okay, on a 5-point scale or a 4-point scale, this individual has scored 3.4 or 3.5, and hence the individual is going to be good enough. So just the amount of rigor which is there is the amount of rigor just ends up pushing the individuals, the learners, to a different level. That's point number one. The second thing is, if you consider data science as a field, there are 3 key skills which are required. The first skill is, the individual should have good business understanding, good business domain knowledge. The second bit is the individual should have great understanding of mathematics and algorithms. The third is the individual should have, or the learner should have, great understanding of technology. Now, you might consider these, various courses which are available, but when we did our research, and the reason why we kind of ended up launching 2 PG diplomas in machine learning as well as data science, is because across the board, from your colleagues, your recruiters, the recruiters like you, the feedback that we received was, there are various programs which are either too theoretical in nature, or there are certain programs wherein you just end up learning languages like R or Tableau or Python. And in either one of these cases, the person that I hire is not good enough, is not proactive from day one, or might not be suitable for more sophisticated problems. And hence the focus has been that, through our partnership with IIIT Bangalore, there is a lot of emphasis on algorithms, mathematics. Through our partnership with, these various types of industries, there is a lot of emphasis on business knowledge. So the industry partners that I talked about, they have in fact contributed by giving us real case studies that they themselves have faced. So think about a situation wherein someone like an Uber is struggling with demand and supply problem, which is a real scenario. And that particular problem statement has been imbibed into our program so that learners can essentially solve such type of case studies. Or for example, telecom churn these days, wherein one customer is moving on from one subscriber to the other subscriber. Now, in this particular case, how to apply data science so that companies can identify which particular subscriber is going to, or which particular customer of mine is going to churn. Again, these are real problems that the likes of Airtel, Vodafone, etc. are facing right now. And again, some of these partners have contributed these specific case studies to the program, wherein the academic rigor is there, but the industry relevance has also been there across the board. And finally, I think, you'll have to just look at the amount of hands-on learning and implementation that these guys are doing. If you look at some of the projects that these guys have done, which is building chatbots, building image processing systems, and during that, the amount of mentoring that these guys have gone through by real data scientists, real machine learning experts, a combination of these 2-3 factors essentially ensure that the learners who are already coming through a selective procedure, only the best of them end up completing the program and are really ready to be absorbed into your enterprises. So that is how I would see. There are, of course, 1 to 3 month-long courses available. And I think the objective there might be slightly different compared to what we are trying to do, which is making sure that at the end of 11, 12 months, through a rigorous program, only a set of identified best professionals are able to really hone their skills in areas like data science and machine learning, which directly maps to what the organizations need.
Okay. Yes, thanks for answering that question, Rohit. One question is there for the event, and that question is, how are the scores going to be used? The scores that they got from the assessment test that they had gone through, how are those test scores going to be used? So let me answer that question for you. So when the companies and recruiters, they add their roles and then jobs, as I was showing you here, these are your applications going to be listed against each job that is visible in the event. So when they check out the applications will be sorted based on the relevance. And one of the factors used in relevance detection is your score. So for example, let this person apply to my job in this event. You can see that statistics and machine learning, this person has done very well in the test that was taken by UpGrad before this event. So if you do well in that test, the skill is becoming in your talent card. The skill comes to be more emphasized so that people can look at that, and it is also used in ranking. So if somebody has cracked the test and has scored very high, that person will rank higher than the person who has not. So recruiters will be able to respond to these candidates ahead of the people who have not passed the test. So that's how the test score is going to be used. Yeah, maybe let me. So my screen was not visible. I think it should be now. Let me just turn off my video. You should be able to see my screen now. So as I was saying, that this is how my applications to recruiters will come. All the people who apply to the job will be ranked based on the relevance, and their skills will be shown like this. If somebody has passed the test, then the skills will look like this to the recruiters, hence increasing the visibility. And if they have passed the test, then also they will be ranked higher. So if I am looking for machine learning, for example, this person will be ranked higher than the person who has not scored well in machine learning. So that's how passing a test gives you more visibility and also gives you higher ranking in the results of recruiters, and hence increasing your chances of getting responses back from the companies. So I think that is it. I hope that you will make use of this event. And as I said, we are pretty excited that this is a great first step towards, solving something which is big, solving for careers of tomorrow, for skills of tomorrow. And then, as Mayank also said, we are going to partner more in future to get you in front of the more talent pools that are coming up in different programs by different companies. And then I hope that you will enjoy these kind of talent pool, and this kind of events will be useful to you. If you have any feedback for us, please send us the feedback forms that will be circulated to you soon on email and also on the chat window. So thanks again, and again, pay attention to timelines. So recruiters or companies need to add their jobs ASAP, so that by 8 p.m. learners can start applying for the jobs, and learners need to apply for the jobs from 8 p.m. today to all the way to Sunday 11 p.m. And the companies will come back on after the weekend to clear all the applications. When somebody asks, what do you mean by clearing applications? So clearing application means they will take action on the application. Either they will take it forward, or they will say they are not able to take it forward. So you get at least a decision whether you are going forward in the next stage or not. Okay, all right. So I think this is it. I thank Mayank and Rohit again for their participation, and the entire UpGrad team and the entire CutShort team to work on this. And as I said, any feedback, let us know, and look forward. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.